hit it right then. Did it go live?
We are live. Hit the video.
Hmm. Oh, it just shows that it started on my end.
And welcome. Do what?
I said it finally just showed that it was actually live on my end. It was being
Oh,
very
gotcha.
weird. Gotcha. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We have no one right at the moment, but hopefully we'll get some folks in
Well,
here.
hello to
Give it,
viewers that watch later.
yes, hello to our non-live viewers.
Yes.
Um, and excuse me just a second while I choke again. Still battling the crud over here.
And I will go ahead and tell you guys what happened today. We have apparently been permanently suspended from YouTube on our channel. We are unsure why. We got no warnings. We just got a notification that we had severe and repeated violations of no scam, spam, or something else, which makes no sense. None of that like jives with anything that we do. So we don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure. But obviously, we've offended someone out there somewhere, and they've reported us for some bullshit. Hello, Bridget. Welcome to the show.
And I, speaking of offending, will go ahead and start. And I will say that we want to start off by saying the same thing that we always do. We want to make sure that everyone knows that we are not here to belittle your spiritual beliefs. We are not here to say that ours are right and yours are wrong. We don't even see it that way. We just have uh, constantly curious minds. We always want to ask questions, and we don't take things at face value. That goes with religion as well. We want to question it. We want to poke at it. We want to find out what makes it work. So if it seems like we're poking fun, it's just because we have peculiar senses of humor, and we poke fun at ourselves just as much as everything else. So we don't think we're right and you're wrong. So keep that in mind.
Right.
These are
Hello, Irene. How are
and
you
these
tonight?
and these are our personal opinions and do not represent the opinions of anyone on the Things Network. These are our personal opinions alone. Always have questions. That is correct, Irene. I
Yes,
normally do not wear my glasses.
if we don't question, how do we learn?
Yep.
And y'all bear with me just for I'm sharing the video here to let everyone know that we are live. So that would take me just a minute. And I apologize, y'all, that I am still choking and coughing and snitting and sneezing, and it's better. It's much better. I can at least say a sentence or two without choking my guts up now. But it's
Yeah, but
still a struggle.
and I unfortunately seem to be just hitting the point of the congestion. So, yay.
It's always fun.
It is. It's always fun.
The crud that we
And
capture.
this is very accurate. Not everything is one thing, and everyone is different with different customs and lives, and that is absolutely true.
Absolutely true.
This is our viewpoint from our lives in our, and our customs, and you know, we all have a different point of view, different experiences under our belt.
I am right now sharing this with everyone that is awake. So
Valid.
thank you, Irene, for the prayers, and I appreciate that. Um, Jess told me I was being really dramatic the other day when I sent her a message and said, I think I can finally call it. I think I might actually live through this. Um, thank you, Cade, and welcome to the show, Cade. So we ended last week, and we're gonna go back to hot topics just for a moment. Last week we were talking. We started the show with the jarts, and I just have to say that Jess
Upon
and
further
I, since
research, we have decided this is definitely a venture to explore.
I mean, yeah, like Jess said it on the waiver there. We have curious minds, and holy crap, y'all! There are websites out there you can order your flavored fart. I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Yep, and we ended it on
Um,
jarts as well. Yes, we did.
yes, so I am so
So
sorry, y'all.
I told
This
her that if she dies on me during this show, we're gonna have a problem.
well,
I
but
am going
I've
to
also
summon her
reminded her that
spirit and
I've
bind her
also
to this
reminded her
camera.
that I have signed the post mortal investigation, so that's part something we have on our team.
Oh, I'm pulling out the
Um,
witch side of things, though. I am binding your ass to something in this house. You are stuck here.
oh, that'd be
Leave me
fun.
alone. Leave me alone. I dare you. But I'll put you on something. I'll put you on something innocuous so we can just sit you and leave you around places and let you haunt there for a while.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Like I mean, we could mail you to France and back.
Hey, yeah, send me over. Let me stay with Irene for a while in
Yep.
Japan, and yeah, just send me all over the country or all over the world. That'd be cool. Okay, I think we're shared, or I shared with everybody
Oh
that's
my
awake.
lord, Terry.
What's we got?
I
Oh
wonder what
my
that would
lord!
go for.
It is scary. It is scary that Irene. What I want to know is who buys this shit. I mean,
I'm gonna
haunted
bind you.
jarts,
I'm gonna bind you to a jart.
haunted jarts. I mean, Cade, you might be onto something there. I mean, we might have to
You know what? Jarts that are collected while on investigation in haunted locations. When you get the fear jarts.
fear jarts. I think we said it last week. Is that sulfur smell? That people will claim demons. Is it really just a jart?
Well, what happens when you get a
And
little?
speaking of jart, you hear that these little
I hear your
spraying
fart
thing.
smeller. I hear your fart smeller.
That thing creeps me out all the time.
Shoot, the ones at work, they have them on the walls that are, oh, they're like twice as loud as the ones you get for like a personal bathroom. And oh
Right,
my god, I'm talking, you better be careful. Don't make sure that floor ain't wet because when it goes off, you are going to jump and you're liable to fall.
right. What we're talking about, y'all, is those little, the automatic spray air freshener things. My husband has one here. This closet, the spirit studio here, is the smoking room where my husband smokes in the house. And so, yeah, he keeps his little squirt thing in here. And when you're sitting in here late at night by yourself and that little squirt thing goes off, it's a little bit freaky. So I think I have shared, and I guess whoever's here is going to be here for the live. Um, we can go back or start with our hot topic, squirt thing. Um, which is we got on Santa Claus last week and the roots of Santa Claus and where Santa Claus came from and all that. So And I say that all the time, Irene, when we have
We have had a lot
clients.
of discussion about that.
We have had a lot. Well, thanks, Bridget. We're glad that we're stuck with you. Um, uh,
Does it wait? Does this include permission to bind you to a jart upon decease upon your deceasement? Is that
right.
are we that stuck?
We
That could be
might
a
need
whole
to
new
get a.
venture.
I was just gonna say we might need to have a post-mortal jart contract.
Contract. Yeah,
Yes,
I
that
agree.
we can collect your last fart. She says no jar. She does not want her
Rude.
farts in a jar.
Rude, rude, rude. But yes, so we were talking about Santa, about Christmas, and our whole shtick was YouTube, Yuletide, not YouTube, Yuletide. How the
YouTube is stuck on
Christians.
our brain because we've been banned from YouTube.
It's so
You know,
freaking
what
rude.
did we do to get banned from YouTube?
I
Have
have
y'all
no
seen?
idea.
I mean, I'm talking to YouTube. Have you people really looked what's on your network and you're gonna ban us? Really? Okay, but yeah, back on Santa Claus.
And well, and I can't figure out why we're banned from the Spirit YouTube channel, but we also stream on the Things YouTube channel, and they've had no issues with it. And
I
not to
think it
mention,
was a personal attack.
we are not the most crude show on this network. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. Well, and like I said, I
We
think
have
it was
no
a
idea,
personal.
Cade. We have absolutely no
We
idea. I have appealed it, and hopefully we'll hear something. Yeah, like look, when if you fall down a YouTube rabbit hole, which that's when you're watching one video and you click a recommended video and you click another one, you click another one, you just end up down this whole path of recommended videos. I have ended up on videos from a nude beach with full frontal nudity. So I don't understand.
well, I mean, yeah, like one of my first experiences with YouTube was something that my husband came, and this was years ago. My husband came home and said some guys at work told him to watch a YouTube video, two women in a cup. Two women in a cup,
Oh
two
God, no,
women
no,
and a cup.
nope, nope, stop. Oh God,
Some
oh, my pain, my pain. Oh no, 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 no. Do not,
exactly.
no one that is watching this right now, do not look that up.
Don't go
Don't do
watch
it.
it. Don't go watch it.
Sorry.
Don't do it if you've not seen it. Don't do it. Just don't do it because. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. This.
There she goes. There she goes again. I can't sing. Y'all just let that slide past. Really terrible time to go robotic. Hmm.
Am I robotic
Oh,
here?
wait, I can hear you
Am
again.
I still
I
robotic?
can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You're all good.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
I'm good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you are full of it, Cade. And she's frozen. I feel so disrespected. So we were talking about Yuletide, how the Christians stole Christmas, essentially. Um, this is not us saying that we don't believe in Jesus. We do, but the evidence shows that he was born in the spring, not on Christmas. It was just a way for them to align it and make the religion more palatable to pagans. We're not saying we don't believe in Santa Claus. We have started the Santa cult, so Um, but we are saying that. Oh, and she's really gone. Go back to sleep, dear. I'm sorry. I did not mean to wake you up. Terry mentioned something that I had a visceral reaction to. I'm sorry. I woke my husband up yelling about the video that she mentioned. Yeah, yeah. Santa Claus is based on Saint Nick, who was, he was an actual saint. So, um, apparently, according to one of my friends, after we ended the show last time, I actually received some text messages from a friend of mine who is a very well read, thirst for knowledge, amazing, 10 out of 10 person. And she sent me some messages with some info. And what she mentioned was traditional Christmas carols were actually songs that were used in various small towns and villages throughout Europe to help the townspeople tell their Christmas pageants. So that was how Christmas carols started, and I thought that was interesting. Um, Apparently, Silent Night in the original German, there's a I don't know if it's completely or if it was just a particular version, was arranged for guitar because the town's church organ was broken. That's what I thought. I thought it was very interesting. And Terry sent me an article the other day as well. Um, of course, now I have to actually. Oh, there it is. Go back and find it. I have to put her in timeout for leaving me alone. So the original Saint Nicholas, he was Germany's original Christmas gift bearer, Saint Nicholas. Um, he makes his tour through town a few weeks earlier in Germany than in America. This isn't because Santa's schedule is just too busy to cover the groundwork before December 25th. Tons of history and years of tradition stretch between two of the world's most famous Christmas figures. Yes, they did. They started so small scale, and we celebrate Christmas as well. Both of us do. Um, we have our Christmas tree in the living room. My kids do not uh, subscribe to Mr. Claus, but we still enjoy celebrating it. We go and see family, and we have gifts. And I think Terry might be coming back. Maybe she's still loading. Nope. Um, the tradition of Saint Nicholas goes back to the Middle Ages. Um, Giving Christmas gifts was a practice reserved solely for the saint's religious feast day, December 6th. During the Reformation period,
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, and believe it or not, through all that, I got a little indication thing from StreamYard saying that it was not my fault, it's them.
Oh, well, all right.
So sorry about that. Hopefully, we've got it fixed.
So, during the Reformation period, Martin Luther challenged the observance, which was steeped in Catholic traditions at that time, and invented a new celebration for Protestants, which is so they changed it to December 24th, the last day of Christianity's liturgical time of Advent, and adopted the figure of Christ kind. So, um, it's very interesting, though.
It really is. And I don't know if y'all talked about this while I was coming and going. um, I found it very interesting when I was looking it up the other day about the Santa Claus and Krampus in, I think it was Germany, that they actually come kind of together, like they parade through town together and stuff. And that it's December 5th and 6th.
That
And
did that is what
Christmas,
started the Lutheran faith, like Bridget said just there as well.
right? They were talking about that they still have Christmas, and but they pray to a Christ-like child, but it's like an angel female child that brings their gifts to tradition, but at one time was tradition December 5th and 6th, which was also um, the Krampus holiday, which I cannot pronounce that, but I thought that was pretty cool. And if y'all have ever, excuse me, watched the movie, Fred Santa, they were kind of covering this, about Santa, and his list of naughty and nice and all that. Well, the naughty actually came from Krampus. But of course, because Krampus was pagan, they lumped that into Christian, beliefs, things that we celebrate now. So, just a little fact on Krampus there, and how he got rolled into Santa Claus.
Hmm. I was trying to look up something.
So, Irene, in Japan, does Santa Claus come in Japan? I mean, for children, all we know that Santa Claus can go anywhere in the world if children are watching this. Um, but we're really not a show for children to be watching.
Especially not the
um,
Sunday night show. So
especially
this
not
is,
the
let's
Sunday night.
actually stop real quick and let's go ahead and say that if you do have children watching right now, um, it would be best probably to, because at some point we may slip and say something about good old Mr. Claus, and we do not want to do that and cause any issues for anyone with their children.
Right, right. But obviously, we know that we cannot be the only ones out there on YouTube or anywhere else that said anything. But yeah. Um, So Irene says no, that they do not. Do you have anything like that, Irene? I mean, is there, you know,
What?
the jolly old Saint Nick, or the Christ-like child that brings good luck? Is there? Do y'all do away with all that um, commercialized? Right,
Uh,
it's a Western tradition.
and it's actually said that Santa Claus may actually owe his earliest influence to Odin, who was a god revered by Germanic people in Northern Europe as early as 2 BCE. Odin was celebrated during Yule, which is actually today. Um,
Right.
and during this
Is it
time,
the
Odin was
20th or the
said to lead the
21st?
wild hunt. It is the 20th, so it's
20.
Monday.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So because he was
blessed Yule to everyone out there.
yes, and he was said to lead the wild hunt at that time, which would kind of make sense because Santa led by all the reindeer, Odin led by the wild hunt,
Right, right.
a ghostly procession through the sky. And
And Bridget,
he was
we
supposedly a
love
bearded cloaked man. So yeah.
we love the Krampus tradition. And reading that actually takes place December 5th and stuff. I think next year we're going to incorporate the Krampus tradition into our home too, because I love Krampus. I think that Krampus is. Let me just say, if I was some kind of
We don't get
superhero, I mean, what
money.
do you?
We don't get money for New Year's. I think we have gotten the short end of this stick.
Right.
We eat black eyed peas and eat
And
collard greens
turnip
to ring in the
greens,
new
collard
year.
greens.
Turnip or collard greens. The turnip greens or the collard, whatever greens you eat, is supposed to attract money for the year. Black eyed peas is for good luck for the year. There's a whole list of different foods you're supposed to eat, but we'll discuss that closer to New Year as well.
Right. And I agree, Kate. That's kind of what I was just saying. I mean, um, the the Krampus tradition, it's really not. If you want to teach your kids to be good, I mean, what more do you need than Krampus is going to come stuff you in this bag and whip you with some chains and birch switches, and I mean, hey. I'm gonna buy it more that Krampus is gonna come whip my ass versus jolly old Saint Nick.
So
And how many times
I
you tell
just
your
learned
kids, if you
something.
don't be good, Santa Claus is not going to come. But them damn kids know that Santa Claus is going to come. They know
It's
it's
true.
just idle threats. It's
This is
idle
true.
threats.
So I
But
just
throw
read
some
something
Krampus
that
up in there.
I think is very important for us to know, because of our Merry Cultness.
Mm-hmm.
So I found out who it is that discouraged the veneration of saints to prevent them from gaining a cult-like following. It was Martin Luther, the man who started the Lutheran faith. So now we know who to blame.
Oh, well, there we go.
I feel like that was
Well,
important to know.
right. And if you were on our show last night, we had discussed that why wasn't Santa Claus a god? And we are making a movement because we found that because God, Santa does not have a cult, so we are making the movement to begin the Santa cult, y'all. I mean, if the one-eyed flying spaghetti monster can be a god, then why is Santa Claus not a god?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep. We've decided
Jolly
we're going to
old
build a
Saint Nick.
compound. We're going to build a compound. We are only going to travel in sleighs. I'd like to
Yes,
see
when
about
we're out in public,
importing.
we're gonna wear our red suits.
Yep, got to. We got to have the white fur around the edges. I'm going to see about importing a breeding group of reindeer. I feel that's important as well.
Exactly.
Um, but that's a lot of paperwork. That's the kind of thing there's a lot of paperwork for. So,
Yeah, they've got
if
to get through the red tape to get the
yeah,
reindeer.
got to get rid. Got to get rid.
So, and that's Bridget. I think my house is kind of a melting pot of traditions as well. We just, you find something, you do it, you like it, and you keep doing it. A few years ago, we started doing the Yule log, kind of, sort of, in our way. If we buy a real tree, then I cut a section of that off for next year, and then I decorate it with candles and stuff, and it'll be like a table centerpiece or something, and that's my Yule log. I know some pagans today choose to bake their Yule log. I have so much going on and cooking and stuff at the holidays that I'm just not adding any more shit to my list to bake.
Valid.
Sorry, but not happening.
So it's also apparently a good way to greet people for the holidays. When we're all caught up in all the what do you say to everyone for the holiday season? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. What do you say? Um,
Right.
so whichever one you say in the beginning is fine. Merry Christmas to you, but you need to follow it with "and may Krampus not take your child away in a basket." That's a good wish for luck.
Oh.
May Krampus not take your child away in a basket. That's the
Oh,
blessing for the holiday season from us to you.
okay. Well, yes. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Blessed Yule, and may
Happy
Krampus not
Kwanzaa.
take your Happy Kwanzaa. Um, and may Krampus not take your children away in a basket.
I mean,
I think I'm just gonna.
if
I
you
think
want
I'm from
that,
now on. I'm just gonna say fuck all the Merry Christmas, Happy
we're
Holidays,
just gonna say,
Blessed
may
Yule.
Krampus not take your child away in a basket.
Exactly. May Krampus not take your
What'd you
child
say?
away in a basket. That covers
Unless
it,
you want
doesn't
them.
it?
Unless you want that to happen, because we could wish the other way.
I hear little Wiggum's little husband threw that out
Yeah.
there.
Would you like to lean over and say hello? And he says no.
I see there. I see the arm flying in the background.
So,
So, yes, and, yeah, and make Krampus take your children if you want
yeah,
Krampus to take your children.
whichever you would prefer. He'll come to your town, lashing his bells and chains.
Well,
basket on his back.
and we have a hookup for a
Yep,
Krampus.
we do.
Well,
If you really
Krampus,
need it.
we have got the red tape to get through to
This
get
is a
us a
good
Krampus
point.
for the compound.
This is a good point.
It
Can
really does,
Krampus take
Bridget.
us away?
Right.
Like, leave
You
the
know,
children. Will you take me?
and hey, and
I love a good villain.
Is Krampus, I was just gonna say, is Krampus like the, red guy with the horns and flames and because it's probably a fucking party down there, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is he looking for a Mrs. Krampus? We could discuss
right.
this. I love a good villain. That's all I'm saying. He does have that forked tongue thing going on. Put
Hey,
that out
hey,
there.
hey. He's got
Go
fur,
to
he's
sleep.
warm, he's
I'm being
warm and fuzzy.
judged. Judgment. Do you see this judgment?
I see the judgment. Why is he not sleeping?
Because I yelled when you mentioned that video that shall not be named and it woke him up. Oh, Lord. That look, yes, that is my marriage in a nutshell. Why are you brushing your hair at 12:30?
Because you put him on camera, Jess. Now he's got to make sure he looks good if you do it
He's already been
again.
on camera and off camera now. He already looked how he
I
looked.
know, right, Bridget? That look he had.
That's my marriage in a nutshell. That and we're constantly poking at each other. In good fun. We don't
Yeah,
argue
that's
much.
I mean, that's the way you got to be, I think, to make a.
Bridget says that look is awfully loud. He only has he's only that loud when he wears his big pockets to fit all of his audacity in. Tis what it is.
uh,
Oh, Terry's trying to die again. I swear, I just ordered my bleach to redo my streak and it's delayed. I'm salty about it. And I've decided to go green in my streak.
you've decided to do what with your streak?
To go green. I got some more bleach so that I can do my roots, and I'm gonna make the streak a little wider, I think. And then I got this really pretty, like deep green color. Her 3-year-old will fight you for that audacity, Bridget. I tell you. Anyway, and obviously I am shooting from my bed this evening. You'll forgive that. I'm in a lot of pain. I am a chronic pain sufferer due to an accident, so I'm in a lot of pain today. So, oh, from the bed it is. That's okay. So, anyways, as you can see up here, I made a little image that I thought was fairly interesting. I think that for, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a minute now, but we've got, I want to say it's a representation of Father Christmas, Santa Claus, and Jesus, what Jesus would have really looked like, that is. So, it was going to be our little thumbnail for the night.
Can you still hear me, Jess?
Yes.
Okay, we kind of both blipped out for a minute. I didn't know if I was doing the robotic thing, if I disappeared on y'all or not. So yeah, I
Anyways,
love the picture. Um, and yeah, I think that one of Father Christmas, that's one that I usually share for my Yule. Uh,
yeah.
because I think it's what like the Holly King
Mm-hmm.
is
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
that's what the
reminds
Holly
me of.
King. That's
Yeah,
what he is. This is the Holly King.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah, and for those who are non-pagan and don't know, the Holly King is today is his day. He's returning. Is it he's returning or he's going to sleep? Can't remember. It's late. I think it's the death of the Holly King. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the death of the Holly King. Because then in the spring we have the rebirth.
So his strength, the Holly King's strength, he begins power at the autumn equinox, and then his strength peaks during midwinter, at which point the Oak King is reborn, regaining power up until the spring equinox, which is when um, that's his time. That's his peak. So it's the Oak
Right.
King is being born, but the Holly King is not dead yet.
Right. Okay. So yes, that's where the Holly King and all that kind of comes in.
And Terry's gone robotic
And,
again.
shit.
Oh, I think
Can you hear
yes.
me now? I'm back. Okay. So Bridget, that's what I was saying that um I was invited to a pagan wedding and I didn't want to be stupid, the stupid girl in the room not knowing what they were doing and what traditions. So I started researching paganism. The more I learned, the more I realized, holy shit, I'm a pagan and always
Mhm.
have been a pagan, just didn't know it. And then the more I started learning about my paganism roots, it wasn't long that I realized, well, holy shit, I'm a witch, and kind of always was and just didn't know it.
Yeah. Yep. Same over
So, and
here.
again, for people who thinks that witches are casting spells and levitating and flying on brooms, that's really not what it's about at all.
Yeah,
It's a
we
way
do
of life.
cast
It's a way of
spells, but
thinking.
it's not like Harry Potter
Right.
or Charmed.
No, nothing like that at all. Um,
Now,
Practical magic.
if you want a good fictional series, it's more of a young adult age range that is really, really. They did a lot of research on paganism, Wicca, hereditary witches, all of that. I recommend the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan if you're looking for a good. Because I love Charmed, I love Harry Potter, but it is not realistic at all.
Right.
I
And
recommend
you said the sweep series?
the Sweep series by Kate Tiernan. If you want to read it, you can borrow. I've got the whole series.
Cool. Yeah,
I
I'll have to check that
devour
out.
it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It does take some
So,
liberties here and there with a few of the things that go on, but the research is impeccable.
right. And I would say, as far as Hollywood goes, practical magic. You take away them killing the guy and bringing him back. Take that out of that
No,
movie.
hold on. The only part you need to take away is the bringing him back part. We're
The
the killing
right, the
part
bringing him
that could
back.
happen.
Right, we got the belladonna, but yeah, the bringing him back and the haunting and all that. Well, the haunting could happen too, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all take that part out of the movie and the other witchy things that they did, the gathering of the circle to build power, the herbs, the making of the soaps and the lotions and that kind of stuff. That's real witchy stuff right there.
I was actually raised Church of God for for my entire childhood. Though we did visit our local Pentecostal church that was our sister church. Once I was a teenager, I started attending our local Baptist church for Wednesday night services because that's where my friends went. Um, so I have been a little bit of everything. I think my last stint with Christianity was Methodist. So,
Yeah, I'm just catching up on some of the comments here. Um, yeah, I mean, I call what I did church shopping for
yeah,
years. Because especially in the southern United States, for Irene's people that aren't in the United States, the South is the Bible Belt. I mean,
very much.
you go 3 blocks in any direction and you're going to hit a church, a Baptist church, Catholic church, Methodist church,
Our
Primitive
local,
Baptist church, the
we
state,
have one
the
3 minutes that way and 4 minutes that way, and they're both
I
Methodist.
mean,
They're not even different
literally, I'm
denominations.
Right, I'm in a little bitty town, Benson, Alabama, and there's two or three churches up there, and one of those churches, is big enough to hold this whole little town. And why do we? Every time I
That's
drive by
very
and see a new church,
interesting. She says she is a Shintoist more than Catholic. We were actually having a conversation where we were curious about Shinto. I think it was the other day,
mm,
or it might have been me and Cade that were talking about it. I would love to hear because I think it was actually I was talking about you because you had been sending so much good information to Terry.
right, and
And
yet she sent me the pictures of the temple that she's
that's
part of, which
interesting.
is very cool.
Okay, it was me and Cade that were talking about it, and Cade had said, "Are they Shinto?" And I did not believe or Shintoist.
Yes, let me find my phone, Jess, and I'll send you the picture that. What the hell did I do with it? Send you the picture that Irene sent me, and you can show it on here. Um, she sent me some really cool information the other day. I love the whole idea of the rabbits packing the sticky rice on the moon. Uh, it's just some really cool stuff.
Very interesting.
If I wasn't so afraid to get on a plane and fly that far, I would love to go to Japan.
And if there
So,
is, if you see any mist in my area, you completely disregard it. I try not to vape if I'm sitting at the computer because it can really mess with things when I have an open background. Since I have a flat background and it's a rough day, disregard any sort of mist. It is not evidence of any sort of paranormal.
all right, Jesse, you should have the pictures
Yes, I am
from
saving.
Irene, and I sent you the one of the sticky rice. Because Irene, we got to talk about this sticky rice. Now, I know y'all probably making some kind of a rice cooker, but I see it's like they look like they're like white and pink. They almost kind of look like they're coated with something.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Do y'all like pack these rice balls together and roll them in
No.
something?
Here's
Yeah, this is the
this.
rice balls, we're sticky rice we're talking about. And let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. Um, because I don't want to give bad information out
Yes,
there.
I accidentally showed Tato Man. I was telling
I
Terry
see
about it
Tato
earlier.
Man.
Cade, Japan is your bucket list place. Is that what you were saying? Mine
So yeah,
used to
this is,
be.
they
Go ahead.
do the sticky rice is used as offering to the gods and to the dead.
My original play. Yes, I know it's hilarious. I did not mean to put Tato Man up there. I attended an online birthday party earlier this evening, and we played Jackbox party games online, and that was done during the drawing game. So I had to share it because it was hilarious, and we've decided that's another cult we're going to start is the Tato Man cult. So, but
Tato Man.
yep. Um, my bucket list place to visit used to be Ireland because I was under the impression that I had a lot of Irish in my genetic history. And it actually turns out that I don't. My mom has a little bit. I did not get any of that from her. I actually hail very much, there's a lot from Scotland. That is my highest percentage. So I think I would like to visit there. Do we know,
So
like,
my highest
do Jamie
percentage is
Frasers exist over there? Like, can I go find me a hot dude in a kilt? Preferably
oh, I
from
bet you can.
time travel. Like, can I fall through time and go find me a Highlander, please?
Oh, I bet you can.
There can only be one. Okay. What's your point?
Let's put William in a kilt.
Do what? Uh, you're talking about a whole different Highlander than I am, baby. I'm talking about the show Outlander. Um, Terry says let's put you in a kilt. Would you wear a kilt?
Sure.
Would you let me take a picture of you in a kilt?
And a cult?
In a kilt too, but in a kilt?
Sure.
Oh, he'll do it. There we go.
he's so easy. I mean,
He
you
really
gotta
is.
love William. I mean, William is just Jess's little
Well,
husband
he's
over there.
easy about
He,
some things. He can be a difficult little thing, though. This is
I'm
the
not
Louise.
wearing a tutu.
Well, I wasn't gonna put you in a tutu.
well, hey, yeah, we wouldn't put you in a tutu, a kilt
If you
cult.
keep
There
talking,
we go, a kilt
kilt
cult.
cold. Oh, it's supposed to be real breezy down there under the
I
kilt.
know. I enjoy it.
He
Right?
enjoys breezy. Oh, you're not very Irish. You're more German as well. That's interesting as well. My
Yeah,
entire
because I would have
genetic
looked at your name
thing,
and thought
yeah.
Irish or Bridget Conley. Yeah.
Well, and my entire genetic history essentially looks like it just says cracker across Europe. That's it. Assorted cracker.
Same, except for my little, and mine, I'm heavily from Scotland. Also, there's a little bit in Ireland. Um, it's, I think it says like 70%
Hmm.
British, and then
I've been trying to
something
talk you into doing
Scotland,
yours.
and
William,
about 3 or 4% now has come up African. From the Congo in Africa. Which I think that's cool. I thought like to throw that out there to people. Especially our very racist, pasty white people who look in the mirror and think, "Oh, I'm purebred." Nah, bitch, you ain't purebred. Go get you an ancestry and watch and see. Watch and see. Because
well,
I'm pretty pasty and burn, and
oh
yep,
Lord, her
my
maiden name is
African
O'Connor.
DNA, my African DNA keeps growing.
Hey, Roseanne.
Well, no, her married name's Bridget Connolly. Her maiden name is O'Connor. Yeah, I would have guessed Irish through and through. Whereas I was Jessica George before marriage, and I'm Jessica Beauregard now.
Yeah, so
William says
yes,
he wants to
looks
do
can
the
be
DNA
deceiving.
test now, and I'm amused because he's been refusing to do it this whole time because he doesn't want the government to have his DNA.
They might use it
That's
fast.
Lenny was that way too, but we got into a discussion today about us. I really want you to take one of those.
I think it would
Um,
be very interesting.
I think everybody should. I think, like I said, especially these. You know, I'm not gonna
It
put a label. Just
Beauregard is
these
French.
very
William's name is
these
French.
these
From
very
what we understand,
racist
yeah, from what we
people.
understand, William is French. He does hail from New Orleans, and that's where a lot of French immigrants did go. So
Hmm.
we're assuming, but he has not done his genealogy yet.
Yep, he may be cracker.
Oh no, I think there's something else in there too.
Uh, oh yeah,
This
probably.
man and then both of my
Well, like I said,
children,
my African.
when they walk outside, they just turn nut brown in the sun. They do not burn, they do not get pink, they just all turn nut brown. I walk out and I look like Mr. Krabs. 5 minutes, that's all it takes.
At the right age. I mean, for the people, and then I'm not going to get all vaccine crazy and all that with this statement, but it kind of, these people that I'm not getting a vaccine because it's a government implant and they're not going to track me.
It's like you
You
realize you
dumbass, if you
carry one
got a
of these
cell
around,
phone,
right?
exactly. You got one of these stuck to your head all the time,
Retard.
then the government can already track your ass. I'm just saying.
Mm, no, I
If
did
you
not.
ain't figured that out, you probably just need to shut off the internet, get rid of your cell phone, and go dig a hole and just lay in it and die.
Yeah.
Because if you think the government wants to track you, I mean, number one, they got bigger fish to fry than 99% of
then,
us that are on the
then Lil
fucking
Willie,
planet.
they got bigger fish to fry than Lil Willie from Alabama.
Right, right.
He
Or
said, shit.
I go crazy.
I'm sure, Little Willie may have come up on their radar at some point or another, and they looked at him and, well, he ain't no threat, and went on about their
Well, and we
business.
all have our own personal FBI agent that tracks everything we do.
Mm.
You know. I always try to say if I'm saying something incriminating, I'm just kidding, FBI man. Got to say it. Make sure they know you're only joking.
Right. Well, you know, my dad, my stepdad, now, won't go into where he works and all that, but he had to have security clearance for years in his job. Like they really scan his eyes and stuff when he goes in
Hmm.
to do his jobs.
Say what I mean.
And he's been married to my mom for the last 25 at least years. They have never once questioned him about me. My name never came up, not a word. And I'm not going to go all political here either, but I will just say after the 2016 election, when they had to renew his security clearance, they did ask him about me. And I
Ooh,
was like, oh
we
my
were pretty loud.
I was like, oh my God, Mom, did I get him? And she said, nope, it was a female investigator. And when he explained, she just kind of laughed and said, I understood, and put my files back in the. So I've been looked at by the
Nice,
FBI.
nice. I feel like that
So, and
should.
I
I
was
feel like
like,
you should have an award for that, like a little ribbon or something.
well,
I'm
and
gonna
it was
make you a
right around the same
certificate.
time. It was right around the same time that I also was deleted and blocked off of said president's Twitter
Mhm.
account. Before they sued him and made it that if he was going to use this as a political platform, that he could not delete and block United States citizens. And that was the thing he was saying. Saying he was using it as a political platform, but then
But
when you
then
would
deleting
ask him
and
a simple
blocking
question,
anyone who disagreed.
yeah, and all I did, really and truly, all I did was ask him, what is your health insurance plan going to do for me? Someone with pre existing conditions. This is a legitimate question. My husband has problems. I have problems. And he kept promising this great health plan that was going to help everybody. And I was like, okay, so what is it going to be? And I put that because he had put something out on Twitter about, just wait for it. It's going to be great. It's coming. Just ask. So, ask everybody, how he talked. And so I responded with, how is this going to be great for me, someone with pre existing conditions? Am I still going to be eligible for insurance? And I got deleted and blocked for that statement.
Yeah. Anyways, we don't want to go
I mean,
politics.
really?
We want to avoid
I
that.
could say a whole lot worse to
True.
be deleted and blocked for.
Basically, yes. Put up or shut up, and then instantly got blocked.
mm,
you know. So I actually, speaking of, we were speaking of government, and then obviously we're paranormal investigators. I
I
actually
was
fell
probably
down.
reported to Irene.
There you go. Um, I actually did. I fell down a rabbit hole. One of those stupid advertised Facebook articles. I clicked on it and I started reading, and then I read the next one and the next one and the next one. Have you heard some of the legends about Chernobyl?
Well, I mean, probably, but
My lord. I think I couldn't sleep last night. I was having real bad pain issues. I think that I spent 3 of the hours I was awake last night just reading all these articles about Chernobyl. It was very
that's
interesting. The photos that you see
that's
from there are haunting.
right. Speaking of haunting, I don't want to put out much, but there is something that you and I need to talk um, about an investigation in Salem in April.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
interested.
another team putting it together or something, and I'd seen today, so I'd request, sent some, and they said all it would cost is our plane ticket, hotel, or whatever. I'm not flying. I'll drive that.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely. You're
30,
not putting me on a plane.
$35 to go in. And well, I'm gonna send you.
Yeah,
I
send me the
think,
info.
but
Send me the info,
I'll,
definitely.
I'll send you where it's at. Um, and y'all, I'm sorry to be so cryptic in this, but it is a kind of a definitely a public place. So I wouldn't want to, put it out there in um info law and into the internet world, so that this place would get flooded by people.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely
but
send me that info. That'll be interesting. Maybe we'll be able to
if
live
we
stream.
do go, of course we will share. We will be talking about it, on the Spirit page and all that stuff. So,
And any pictures
that
and video we get, as long as we're allowed to share them, we will absolutely be sharing them.
absolutely. And I
And
would
to
think that
answer
it. Did you see the message?
me, oh, are you serious?
Of that's the house.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, that's exciting. Like
See, let
that
me
is
go.
incredibly exciting. I have some really strong opinions on that in particular. Maybe we can discuss that in the future on the show. I'll leave it alone
Yeah, we
now.
do a whole show about
But
it.
I
Yeah.
have some real strong opinions that it wasn't her.
Yeah, I kind of feel that
I
way
don't
too.
think so.
I have to.
And to answer Cade's question about Chernobyl, there is a ghost. There is a story about the ghosts of Chernobyl. Any site where there's a lot of people that have lost their lives, Pripyat is rife with ghost stories. Um, a nuclear physicist from New York told a story after visiting the area in 1997, and he was a scientist who went in to take radiation readings and do some general sciencey stuff. Um, he went to the power station at 7:30 that morning and went to the number 4 reactor sarcophagus, which the number 4 reactor is the one that exploded due to an open air graphite fire. And the second wave of people that went in, um, they actually built a concrete sarcophagus around the core of the reactor and stopped the flow of radiation. Um, but that was where the explosion occurred. He couldn't go inside due to the radiation that close to it, but he took his radiation readings and heard someone screaming for rescue from a fire inside. He went upstairs to tell someone, but when they said that when he entered that control room, that he was the first person who opened that door in 3 years. The only way to get inside the old reactor is through the doors that he had come in through, and if someone had gone inside while he wasn't looking, it would have tripped an alarm. So the door requires a passcode and a handprint, yet someone or something was inside. And later that night, when they were eating dinner, the floodlight turned on in the room where the sarcophagus is, but there's no way anybody could be inside. As they ate, they decided it must be a power surge, and just as his colleague said that, the floodlight turned off. So it was. I did a
That is
huge,
chilling.
huge. Oh, the story of the musicians, the performers, the dancers who were brought in to calm the local residents before they did the actual uh, evacuation. Only one of them survived, from what I understand, and he survived by running, but ended up blind. Cannot, you know, radiation sickness was
Mm,
bad.
right.
So, and
Bridget, where are you from?
yeah, that's interesting.
It's-
But it was a huge cover. The the Russian government tried to cover it up that it as serious as it was
right.
at first. They eventually had to make it clear, but they were trying to calm residents without evacuating them. So it was incredibly chilling to read about it.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, again, welcome to Alabama's Skeleton Key Unlocked and Uncensored, where we
You
can
never know
just
what we're
go
going to talk
from
about.
one topic to another one.
Your mom got
Original
radiation
living in.
poisoning. Yeah, a lot of the
So you're in Kentucky now, right, Bridget?
interesting.
you're not far from us, so maybe if we really do set this thing up in Salem, we could invite some people to go with us. I'm thinking, well, I have to do some research, and it may be that we could book to go anytime. And if that be the case, because we're supposed to have a wedding in Iowa in April, my nephew's getting married, so April may not be the best time for us to go to Salem, but I'm thinking July in Alabama's fucking the devil's ball sack hot.
That would be nice.
So that'd be a nice to
Hmm.
get away from the heat and to
And
go.
with
Oh, I
so
want to go
would we
to.
be
I'd love.
able? Oh, Hiroshima. Yes, that would be very interesting to go to. I have a feeling I am an empath. That is one of my talents, and I have a feeling it
Right,
would be I would have to go in heavily prepared because
right,
emotions,
yeah.
strong emotions, especially for horrific incidents that happen in an area, they tend to leach into the environment, and I can
Mm-hmm.
get very overwhelmed very quickly. So, but I would still love to
Right.
go. So, the house that we may be going to, are we going to be able to actually bring equipment and investigate?
I believe so. I'm, waiting on them to respond with that. They gave me um,
Will they allow us to go in at night, or is it day only? So, we'll have to find that out too.
yeah, we'll have to find that out. So I just got a message pop up for, that says Jeremy's surgery went all right. Things were going a bit worse than they originally expected. Hang on, let me get this message to come up so I can read it, y'all. For those who do not know, Jeremy York is our Things Network founder, and we're not exactly sure of the details, but we do know he's had some sort of an accident and he is in the hospital. He has required some surgeries. So please, send healing wishes, um, well, prayers, whatever you do. It said things were a bit worse than they originally thought. So he was in for 14 hours, but he made it through surgery, and he's got a long road to recovery. So everyone, please, healing wishes, prayers, all that stuff to Jeremy York, our Things founder. Um, I
Yes.
don't know Jeremy personally, but what I do know of Jeremy, wonderful, wonderful guy. He's just been amazing. So we really hate, that something terrible has happened to him, but we're sending him
Luckily,
all the
he
love.
has an amazing team already
Yes,
set in place, so we're
Crystal
able
and
to keep things running real smoothly, and everybody has been amazing. So we just
yeah,
send him lots of healing vibes.
yeah, lots of healing vibe and love to Jeremy, and lots of gratitude and love and respect for everybody that's held the Things Network together in Jeremy's absence. We appreciate everything that all of y'all do, and Spirit will continue to send that love and support. And if there's anything we could do, Crystal, or anybody of y'all are listening, please don't hesitate to ask. We know we're in Alabama, but um,
We'll still
if we
help
need
as
to,
much as we can.
yeah, if we
If
need
we
to
need to
stick our
fill in
face in the shot
somewhere,
or something, yeah,
yeah.
we,
If we
we,
need
we
to
can
come
do
on, if
that.
somebody needs a guest, because I know Jeremy does come on to a lot of the shows. If you need somebody to fill in anywhere, let us know.
Right, or if we need a stream, or whatever we need to do to
Yep.
help y'all out.
We could
But
always
then
try,
again,
if we
we
need
did
to.
get kicked off of YouTube, so they may not want, but they may not want us on there.
We'll
We
find
don't know
out.
what we did. We do not
I'm
know what
still
we
so
did,
salty
but
about that, truly.
I'm really salty about it too, because like I said, and I won't say it again, but my first YouTube experience was pretty awful. And if that crap can be on there, what did we do? I mean, I'm gonna
I have
say
appealed it, and we're just honestly we'll have to wait and see what they say. There's a pending
I
appeal. That's
think it
all we can
wasn't a
do.
personal attack,
Yeah,
and
we think we know what happened because
if my
technically
suspicion is true, then we know it's just someone that's salty in
yeah,
Alabama.
Yeah,
about just because we're here and we're us and we're women
we're fabulous.
and then we're fabulous and we have good hair and all that good stuff. So hate us if you want because we have good hair.
We really don't care either way.
No.
Not even a little bit.
So, but I'll just move to another YouTube channel, but it will suck because we did have pretty good little um bit
Luckily, I
of
think
videos.
most of them should be saved on here. So,
So yeah, we can just roll it to our actual Spirit Team YouTube.
yeah, we'll figure it out, and it
Because I
may be
don't
that
think we're gonna do
YouTube,
anything
and it
else with that anyway.
may end up being that YouTube is not the platform for us. Maybe what we do is we go live on Facebook, and maybe we also, when we're doing investigations and such, maybe we also go live on TikTok instead.
Right. Now, see, I don't know much about TikTok, so that you can do live from
Yep,
TikTok and all that as well.
you can do live from TikTok. You can, post plenty of videos. We could, even if we just got on, hell, I don't know, once a month, twice a month, and did pendulum and tarot readings just to, drum up people to follow. We
Right.
can go live from my phone, and I'll keep it with me, and it'll be kind of a point of view as we're going through the house doing the actual investigating.
Right.
Whereas we'll have the stationary cameras showing on Facebook, we can have a constant POV camera as well.
Right. Well, yeah, YouTube. So see, block us out, and we will come up with a way to, you'll
There's also
regret it.
Twitch. Twitch is also a streaming platform. My only issue is it's owned by Amazon, which means it's owned by Jeff Bezos, and that's my issue with Twitch. They didn't used to be owned by Amazon, but they are now owned by Amazon. So I hate to do anything for old Jeffy boy.
Right. Well, I mean, here we're doing something for Zuckerberg, and I can't really say I'm a big Mark Zuckerberg fan either. So I think anywhere we go, there's going to be an issue of, you know, I
Yep.
I had this conversation with someone not so long ago. We can't not do business with one place because what their political belief or what their vaccine belief or what all that may be, because just because this person at the counter agrees with you does not mean the guy at the top agrees with you. So, or the 50,000 people in between the lady at the counter and the guy at the top. We're always going to be supporting somebody that we don't want to support. And it's unfortunately in this commercialized world that we live in now. I've had to come to terms with that myself. Since 2016, there was a lot out there that I wanted to disassociate myself with.
Yeah,
But I
we don't.
also
That is one
learned,
thing. We don't cross picket lines. If there's an active strike, especially if it is
yeah,
a worker striking because they want to unionize, we do not
right.
cross picket
Oh
lines.
no, I'll be out there on the picket line with them. That's a thing there. Yeah, I'll absolutely
You just
be out there.
With what?
cross. You think that when the workers are striking because they're
I'm trying
trying
to
to
figure out if that
unionize.
comes up with, like,
Oh, he's trying to figure out how we got here. This is Alabama Skeleton
Oh,
Key.
this is
we done
Alabama
talked about
Skeleton Kid.
we done talked about Chernobyl, Salem,
yeah, but that's all
orange head,
that ties
doo doo
in,
pants.
that ties in
Right, Cave.
what is a picket line.
Orange duty pants. I just got that.
You're welcome. This is how it happens. Just
Uh-oh. Well, and now I am here. Jess, I don't know if she meant to hit that button, but yeah, exactly. We don't know how we got here,
yeah,
Bridget.
we don't know how we
Um,
got here.
we just roll with it. We just roll with it.
I don't know if
So
y'all could
that
investigate anywhere. If y'all had any out of all of the haunted places that you have heard of, and we'll answer as well, all the haunted or possibly haunted places in the whole world that you have heard of, what would be your ideal place to go investigate? What about you, Terry?
mm, Damn, I was hoping you wouldn't come to me first, because, shit. Um, so I'd really like to go to but I don't know that would be like my top, but it would be
It's
right
got to
up
be your
there
top
at the
top.
top.
What would your top be?
Okay, my top would probably be probably the
Ah.
monastery, probably the monastery in Louisiana, where they brought in all the
See,
the dead brides.
I would be hesitant to investigate anywhere in Louisiana simply because you don't know what you're going to get. And that
Well,
makes
I
me a
mean, and that's
little
true.
nervous.
Maria Defoe.
Well, but remember now we've already investigated in Louisiana.
True, true.
You
I mean,
know,
any of the big
so
places because, there are a
right,
lot of different religions and practices that take place in that area. And there are some things that you just don't mess with that are not your place to mess with. And that's what makes me nervous. That's a good one. Vlad's Castle. That
right.
is interesting.
Alcatraz,
Alcatraz
Alcatraz
would
would
be
be a good
fun.
one too.
Huh. So, what would my place be? I came to you first because I wasn't sure yet, and I'm the one that asked the question.
Well, and I was gonna say the hotel where The Shining was made. Just because I want to know what Stephen King's experience was out
Asylum,
there.
old hospital. Yeah, I was gonna ask you what about
Right.
that asylum that was in that article. Rather visceral reaction to. You seemed like you'd be interested in investigating there.
Yeah. Yeah. That yeah, the nuthead, as I refer to it, in Independence, Iowa. That that's a place on my bucket list. Um, there's God, there's a lot of places, especially like if we're talking about the Iowa area. Or, I when I was 10, for those who don't know, my mom moved me up there, and I lived up there until I was 18, married a Yankee, and came back south. That's the short of the long story there. But some of those houses up there are real. I mean, you just walking by them would give me a feeling as a child, and I today, even down here, I can sometimes drive by these houses, and it's like, oh, I bet that place is haunted. I want to go in there. It's like the entities just scream out at me, "Hey, I'm here! Come over here, let's play."
So I think one of my biggest places, and I had to look up the name again. I could not remember the name there for a minute. Um, One of the places that I find most interesting, and it was one I came across randomly online one time that just struck my interest, and it's the Hellfire Club in Montpelier Hill in Ireland. And it is the
Mm.
ruin of a former hunting lodge called the Hellfire Club. It's on top of Montpelier Hill. I don't know how to say it. I know I'm saying it wrong. In Dublin, Ireland. It was built in 1925 for William Connolly, who was an Irish parliamentary speaker. The stones of the building are taken from ancient passage tombs, which is said to have angered the devil, which first associated the site with the supernatural. Um, it supposedly became a
Mm.
gather. It supposedly became a gathering place for a small group of Dublin elites who met for debauchery and devil worship. Like a good Thursday evening. Uh,
Oh, hell yeah!
it's just a normal Thursday, but there's tales of animal
Just a normal
sacrifice.
Thursday evening.
Yeah, animal sacrifice, black masses, cloven hoofed men, murder, all sorts of things. No, I do not want to go to the suicide forest at all. I
No.
don't. That is the kind of place with the mental illness. I'm sorry, I'll have to adjust myself. With the mental illness that I do face and struggle with every day, I don't think I'd make it out, and that makes me nervous. It wouldn't take much.
And like Jess was talking about earlier, being an empath. Now, going into a place where horrific things have happened is one thing, but going into somewhere where everyone has committed suicide, no, there's been suicide in my family. It's touched my family more than once,
Same.
and that's just not.
And
I mean, we
I
know that.
myself am a survivor of an attempt, so I don't think I would make it out of there, and that makes me nervous. Yeah,
Right, and
exactly. With our brand of mental illness plus empathy, terrible idea.
yeah, and for me, I don't think that I'm not suicidal. I've never been suicidal, except maybe when I was 12 or 13, had my first heartbreak, and realized um, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't give people an easy way out for me in my life. I don't want nobody dancing on my grave. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the deciding factor for me. Oh no, I would never do anything like that. But I do feel like I would have an overwhelm. I believe that would be one of the things I couldn't shake. That it would leave with me,
Right.
and I would not be able to. I would bring I want to go to
So,
a suicide condo.
and
Does it
I in
like
particular do suffer with bipolar disorder. So when my depressive episodes hit, nope. I don't even
yeah? I
I
mean,
don't
and
need
that would just
help.
give some. I think yeah, that would just give something
That's an
for your
opening. That
brain
is an
to
opening.
feed on.
Yeah, that is an
Right. Yeah,
opening
your
for
brain
bad
can feed
things.
it and take it and yeah.
Yep.
So you lived in a suicide condo, Irene. Is this like a thing? I mean, or was this just the condo where seemed that everybody lived there committed suicide? Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that. 17 committed suicide. Holy! So is it like considered a suicide condo? And looking at houses and stuff, and when you're moving and looking for apartments to rent, there were times that I would look at places and just feel something happened here, and it's leached into the walls, and I can't live here.
What is the hotel? There's a special on it that's running on Netflix right now. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Um, mm,
Does anybody know which one I'm talking about? I'm scrolling trying to find it, but I oh my
mm.
gosh, it's right there and I can't get it out.
Oh, the one is the one that Higgins is doing.
The one that uh I don't know.
They had a special. Is it the Coalfield Hotel?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Y'all, pardon me for one moment. I am so sorry to do this, but if I do not go to the ladies' room now, I'm going to pee myself. This is probably why we get kicked off of YouTube because we say stuff like this. I'll be right.
Oh, I cannot remember. It's gonna drive me nuts. Hmm. Let me see. Go into Netflix with it. Oh, let me make sure that's right. The Cecil Hotel. That's the one. The Cecil Hotel. Because it has so many 16 sudden or unexplained deaths that have occurred in or around the hotel. Let me turn it this way. Uh, there were some suicides, some regular deaths. It's all pretty crazy. But the Cecil Hotel, I think, would be interesting. Hello, Jesse. Is that you? You're commenting as spirit. But yeah, I think that would be interesting to see, as well as some of the more infamous homes of serial killers. And well, that's all right. You can be spirit tonight. So I figured out.
I'm
I
so
figured out
sorry,
the
y'all.
name. It's the Cecil Hotel.
The Cecil Hotel. And where's that at?
That is in California.
Oh.
It's in LA. They just did a big special on it, but there have been 16 suicides or unexplained deaths in the hotel. And it's got a pretty sordid history. And it's not that old. It was built in 1925. It's still open.
Well, but
you
there
can
was
stay
a
there.
lot of. Where's it at? You said.
It's in Los Angeles.
Well, there's a lot of history and
True.
a lot of crap in that area.
But there's a lot of places that I would enjoy seeing, kind of like the place that you sent in the message. Which, by the way, I saw something where I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
But a lot of the places like that, places where serial killers have lived or things like that were occurred, like maybe I don't know, is the Manson family. Is the Tate house still standing?
I think so, yeah.
That would be interesting.
And yeah, and
It would be
the
something I
the
think they'd have to be
ranch.
very careful about. That'd be a
Right.
gentle investigation. Jesse is here, by the
Yeah,
way.
and
For some
for
reason, it's
me,
showing her
that
as
one,
spirit.
that would, I don't know that I could do that one.
I don't. Yeah, that's my worry.
That one is really personal
pregnant.
for me.
Yeah.
Well, that one is really personal for me because I was, alive. I was born during that time, and the first thing that really scared me that I had nightmares about
Mm-hmm.
was Charles Manson.
There you are.
It was on the news. My grandma watched the news coverage and
I'm trying to
all that.
remember what
So,
the earliest thing, because I'm not real good with time back then. I don't remember anything before the age of 5, and I have very few before the age of 7. So I
and
can't
that's
remember.
pretty much means in this.
I remember the John Benet Ramsey. I remember, of course, Columbine, things like that.
Right.
But I know there were a lot of others were that I heard a lot about that scared me. And I don't even I do not watch the news unless I'm watching the weather because there's a storm system. I don't watch the news. I have a news app for one of the local news networks that if I need to know something or I'm curious about something, I do go and look it up, but I do not watch it. Yeah, that sniper. Yep.
The sniper shooter, yeah. I'm sure y'all remember OJ, when OJ killed Nicole. But for me, it was, well, I guess because, it wasn't like they didn't have court TV and all that back then, but the news coverage of it was so heavy, and my grandma, watched it. And then when they released like a documentary or something, and I know I was young and I shouldn't have been watching it, but it's one of them forbidden, you're going to watch it. And I think because I wanted to understand, and I guess I wanted to maybe part of me was telling myself at the time that he wasn't real, that this was all just kind of make believe. And so watching and seeing, the things that, and the thing about Charles Manson, what makes him so fucking scary is he didn't even do that stuff. That he was able to manipulate people to do that. And that's what scares me, is that there are people out there. I don't know which is scarier. That someone like Charles Manson that can manipulate people to do things like that, or is the person that the person that they manipulate, are they scarier? I mean, it's the one that catch 22 situations. Do you
Well,
fear?
and in the early 90s, just in 91, I mean, it was 91 when, no, yeah, it was 91. It wasn't that long ago when Dahmer killed his last victim. So, I mean, that was all
Right,
happening during that time
right,
as well.
right. Yeah, I wasn't
So,
even thinking about that. I say you kids, but like, you and my daughters, and all of y'all are of that age group. That, yeah, Dahmer would have
mhm.
probably been like the last.
Oh, and
But
Timothy
in my
McVeigh.
lifetime,
And Timothy
there's been,
McVeigh, the one who did the
yeah,
bombing.
yeah, there's been, Gacy and Dahmer and Bundy, the one that was up in New York,
I think, yeah,
um,
looking at kind of a timeline of the infamous murders around that time, I believe Jean Benet Ramsey was the first one for me, and it was terrifying because this was a little girl. This was a 6-year-old little girl in
right,
her own home.
right.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna put it out here. The brother did it, and the parents covered it up. Period.
And I always felt like, yes, that there was something, in the
His
family that.
reactions in all of his interviews were off. They were just off, and the undigested pineapple in her stomach and stuff like that. It just, I think he did something, and they were broken because they had lost one child and they didn't want to lose both, so they covered it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Um, and that goes back to Susan Smith as another one. The day that this woman was on TV saying, "Please bring my children home. We love." I looked at Lenny that day and I said, "She killed her kids. She killed her babies." And of course, what makes you so judgmental? What makes you that? I was like, I can just, that's not a mother's reaction. She's up there, please bring my babies home. And you, me, any of us, if that really happened, some man jumped in the car and took off with your children, you would not be able to form a fucking sentence on TV.
and I understand
Not and
everyone's
not sit there and be going,
everyone's
"Oh, please,"
response,
but she was squishing up her face and making herself look like she was crying, but there wasn't
but
a
she
tear
wasn't
falling down her
crying.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and it's just, I mean, it's like some of the more recent murders. I can't think of the names right off the top of my head, but the husbands who killed their wives. One of them, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Watts, the Watts case.
oh yeah,
Every interview that man gave,
oh yeah. You could
you
tell. I
knew.
thought, yeah, when he's standing there,
Oh,
I just
Casey
want my wife to
Anthony.
come
Oh
home.
my God,
Yeah,
Casey Anthony. What kind of world do we live in? We got folks in jail for marijuana, and Casey Anthony is out here partying in Florida.
right. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah,
You have
absolutely.
walked into chaos this evening, and to be perfectly honest, you know what? And maybe every once in a while we'll have to do a true crime episode. We'll discuss a particular case because I am a true crime junkie.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, we fall asleep watching.
Oh, really, Jesse? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Jesse. Yeah, Jesse actually knew. Like,
You could just tell.
we weren't, but Jesse was in contact, with these people when they were looking for Shanann. In the very beginning when she was missing. Yeah, it was pretty freaking sad. I mean, they're all sad. I'm not taking away from any victim of any violent crime. I mean, we're not taking away from any of that. We're just, talking about things that have touched us personally in one way or another. And that's kind of what you walked in on, Jesse. We've gone from George to Santa Claus to William in a
Chernobyl.
kilt,
We were talking about Chernobyl,
Chernobyl,
and now true crime.
and now we're coming up on 129, and we've made it through
Oh,
another.
and one thing we will do at some point, I meant to mention, Cade and I actually play a paranormal investigating game called Phasmophobia, and we play it pretty regularly, and that's something we may stream as well, at least on the Spirit page. Maybe not on Things Network and everything, but at least on the Spirit page. So, ooh, are you talking about in the
Mm,
suicide
in the
condo?
suicide apartment, a
Yeah,
condo, yeah.
that's. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we're going to have Irene on the show. We have talked about this several times, and we are
Yes.
definitely going to have Irene on the show because she's got so many interesting stories and stuff that we want to pick her brain.
Absolutely. And you all will notice down at the bottom on the scrolling banner, I have changed the email that you send any of your suggestions, questions, stories, requests, anything you need to send us. I've put it to come to my Spirit email address because I originally had the one that is now banned on YouTube, and I don't know how it's going to affect the email situation. So
Yeah,
definitely, if you
we're
have
playing
anything,
it
send
safe.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing it safe. And I guess here we will plug again. Thank you. Things. We're Jeremy. We're sending you out well wishes, good vibes. You know, everything works out great and wonderful for you. We want to send shout out to YouTube for kicking us off.
We love our haters. Yes, I'm thinking. I think we're looking at maybe after the first of the year. Um,
Yeah,
we're gonna see about having you on because I think that would be perfect.
yeah, and if you're watching the show, and we do want to say that Empress J that does readings on Wednesday night is off now until after the first of the year, and since this is the late night show, and not many people are on, Irene, Cade, and Bridget, y'all are going to be the first to know. The Empress J is going to be moving from her Wednesday 9 to 10 spot
Which was
into
on
our
Spirit
Thursday,
only. She's gonna be joining the
right from
Things Network.
right from the Spirit only, where she's coming over to things with us too. So Spirit will have 3 shows running on the Things Network after the first of the year. Empress J will be doing her readings on Thursday from 9 to 10, and then Alabama Skeleton Key will come on immediately following her 10 to 11 on Thursdays.
Yep.
That will all start the first Thursday in 2022. So, with that being said, y'all, we are now at 132. I hope Krampus doesn't come and put your children in a basket.
Yep. Yep. That's how we're gonna end it. That's our one-liner for tonight. May Krampus not come and take your children away in a basket,
Unless you want Krampus to come and take your children away in a basket.
or unless you want to be taken away in the basket. That's an option. Like I said, he might be looking for Mrs. Krampus.